like forgotten all about the movie though.
I don't.
Welcome
to my anger now.
Welcome to the D-pad. Specifically, welcome to our first episode of Movie Nights at the Round Table in a while.
In a good while.
Yeah.
Right.
Since
it's not the first. It's the first in a while.
It's the first one.
Yeah.
It's only the second one we've recorded since last July.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, since last June, because we recorded it and we were going to put up Thor, like for the weekend of July 4th.
And then you did a bunch of like weird.
That one got
angle
slow.
shots
Yeah.
Yeah, that took so long. It was worth it though.
It's
that was
my
good.
first Movie Nights at the
Yeah,
Round
welcome.
Table.
I'm
Jeffrey.
Start of a new era.
Era.
A.
I'm Rick. We got Ben.
A bird.
We got Sarah.
And I'm
Man.
And
Jeff.
that's Jeff. We've slowly been. I don't think we've done two of these with the same exact cast yet.
Yeah, it's usually like CJ's here or
CJ's
John's
here for one.
or
John and CJ were here for one.
Yeah.
John was here for one.
We're supposed to keep it fresh. That's
Yeah.
all.
But so if this is your first time movie nights at the round table, this is us discussing kind of at the start we're doing MCU movies, but we're gonna loop in other stuff over
It's
time.
all fucking bullshit anyway, because this table isn't even round.
It's not round.
I mean,
we could have taken the middle
it
part out and then
is-
crunched
it is
the
I'm
rest of
round.
it.
It's round. It's not
It's
circular.
It's round.
We've had
rounded,
this
yeah.
discussion
I-
before.
Did
Yeah.
we? Probably.
So,
sounds like something I would complain about.
And then I would do the exact,
So
basic yes.
today we watched Captain America: The First Avenger, as evidenced by this box that you might not have noticed is down here.
It's a flimsy box.
It's
Very
a pretty
floppy.
flimsy little. You want to show off the
Oh yeah, look, it's right
structural.
the way.
Whoa.
So structural. Wow.
Such
There you go.
structure, very stirred.
Nobody
So,
steal our digital code.
Oh dear.
So Captain America: The First Avenger
Oh,
serves
my.
a lot of different purposes in the MCU. It is
A
not
lot?
just
a lot's a strong word.
it is not just the origin of Captain America.
It's not.
It is also a functional prequel to the Avengers.
Yes.
Like it sets
Yeah,
up
as
the-
noted by the preview they
Oh, yeah.
drop at the
We'll
end
get
of
there.
the movie.
Oh, yeah.
and it also is a prequel to the MCU overall.
Right. The
It also starts
phase.
the TV show Agent Carter. Right?
Yeah, it kicks off Agent Carter as well. However, before we get into Captain America, we should talk briefly about the Marvel one-shot that comes along with Captain America on DVD and Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
Oh.
a funny thing happened on the way to Thor's hammer.
It's just so weird.
That was
I
dumb.
think it was a cute little... It was probably the most meaningless
Yes.
of all the one-shots.
It was fun, but it was totally meaningless.
So,
It also doesn't fucking like.
doesn't make
It's
sense.
out of
doesn't
it's out of
seem to
place.
matter.
It
Yeah.
doesn't like. Let's show how badass Agent Coulson is in this one scene.
you should...
That
and
will
it
never matter or come up.
he'll
or-
never be
Give us-
badass again.
Ben, give us a quick plot synopsis of a funny thing happened on the way to Thor's hammer.
Okay, there's several shots of driving. It gets darker
Yes,
as the driving
fact.
happens.
To show that time has passed.
Yep. Then there's a shot of a gas station, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
And
then
some donuts.
I don't remember how, but all of a sudden the shots are inside the gas station. I don't
It's
know.
almost like he teleported inside.
I don't know if they showed him walking in or anything.
I don't think
it doesn't
so. I
matter.
think they just kind of.
But two guys rob the gas station, and Agent Coulson's there, and he's like, "Man, which donut do I want? The white one or the black one?" And then,
Well, the powdered one.
Powdered or
the
chocolate?
yeah, well,
chocolate
the
one.
powdered donuts are white, and the chocolate donuts
That's
are
true. That's
black.
true.
That's the color of the fucking donut.
It's true.
Uh,
Well,
and
he
then
just
what-
hit me. He didn't
Well-
say it.
quick slap to Rick.
that was
Put
the
him back in
Captain
his
America choreographed punch in the.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
old school
yeah.
shadow boxing.
Hitler.
Anyway,
Bam.
anyway, he's trying to decide
Symbol
between
crash.
what color donuts he wants to eat, and two shotgunned men try to rob the
Shotgunned
store. And they're like, "Hey, you there? Give
With
me your
the
gun."
face.
And he was like, "Sure, here you go." And he gives them the gun. And then as he gives them the gun, he hits them in the face with flour and shoots them with their own guns.
No, he kicks them in the face.
I was gonna say I don't think he shoots anybody.
you
in
don't
He
this
doesn't
one.
The
shoot
guy-
anybody. He kicks them.
No.
That guy shoots the ground.
No, he shoots himself in the foot with his gun.
No, he shoots the ground.
He may have shot himself in the foot. He probably shot the ground. He definitely shot the
Well,
ground because
the
God
ground
knows
was also hit.
your foot
Yeah.
is not going to stop a shotgun blast.
Yeah, it went
Damn,
through.
Most
And then,
people parts don't stop shotguns.
And then the climax is he buys his donuts.
He decides
Oh,
to not
yeah,
decide and
donuts.
he
treat
climaxed
himself.
so hard with those donuts.
Yeah. And then he drives off to leave the
Donuts.
poor cashier lady to deal with a
To
fucking
be so
mess.
confused
You
and
missed
being
one-
like,
You missed one important part.
He missed a part? That description was longer than the one shot.
He pays $70 for 19 and a half gallons of gasoline in his small Acura sedan. So
in the middle of New Mexico.
I thought it was
Yes.
an SUV, wasn't it?
I didn't think
I
so.
think it was just like some
they were very
Acura-
unclear.
But
I
so
don't
like,
remember.
yeah, that's the amazing part. That somehow that car has. I mean, granted, if it's shield issue, probably has a little extra.
Right, it's
bit of a
probably
tank
like
in there.
extra armor and a bigger fuel tank and like.
But regardless,
The problem is
That
it's
car
an
has nearly-
action scene for Coulson, and then he's not an action person.
he's not an action.
He's not an action.
He's not an
person.
action
Does
man.
no action
He-
No
thereafter.
action
Yeah.
man.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I fucking love Agent Coulson. He's cool,
He is.
but he's not action man ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
except
no.
for that 5-minute thing.
Yeah, and it never comes up again. It's never a thing
It's
again.
like, why are you
and-
showing me
yeah.
this?
Yep. I think it's
Like,
one of
hey,
those
look
things
at the
where
cool
like
thing we could have done with him.
if they had the means, they probably could have found a way to make that work for either Black Widow or Hawkeye instead, and it would have made more sense.
It would have made more sense. Yeah.
Of like, oh, here's this
Yeah.
woman who's like going to a gas station and gets robbed, and she just fucks them up. Like
would have made way more sense for it to have been Black Widow or Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Either would have made sense.
more so Black Widow, I think. Hawkeye
Wasn't
seems to
Hawkeye around for a bunch of
Oh,
the
he
Thor
was.
stuff where he was shooting stuff around in the area?
be.
So like,
Yeah, he definitely was. So like,
it
he has a
would
reason to
make
be going there.
Right.
For
That's what I
sure.
mean. Like logically in the
I-
movie.
yeah, I guess it
for
sense.
reasons to be there.
Yeah, reasons to be there. Hawkeye has better reasons. Better rationale / better fight scene probably comes out of Black
sure,
Widow.
100%.
I think
I
we've
meant makes more sense. Like would happen.
Yeah,
I think we spend far too much time talking about this.
I think we have to.
boring.
Out of the
Yeah,
six,
with the 4
I think,
minutes it took.
I
there's
had
like 6
fun.
Marvel one shots, and I think this one's the worst.
It's just like,
Yeah.
Or
I
like
don't
the,
know.
not necessarily the worst, but like the most.
It's the most pointless,
There's
yeah.
not you don't get anything from it. Because like the consultant helps to fill in some backdrop
Sup,
to how
Ben?
the Stinger to the Incredible Hulk works,
Yeah.
and we're gonna wind up with
I'm
Hail to the
intimidated,
King helps
Ben.
fill
My
in
plan
blanks
is
from Iron Man
successful.
3, and Item 47 fills in blanks from the Avengers, and like
But this one did nothing effectively.
yeah, this one didn't really do
Also, just,
much of anything.
It just seemed out of, it was just out of. Not only did it not set up anything, it was completely out of place. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Nobody
so
cares.
Yeah.
a funny thing happened on the way to Thor's hammer.
Is
Just
dumb.
a fun
That's
little,
the moral
just
of
a
the
fun little
story.
short film about Coulson being a badass.
They get murdered with a bag of flour.
Yeah, if only he missed. I still really wish that he just whiffed it, and it was like poof. And I'm like, oh, fade to black, gunshot, and like, well, that's it for Coulson.
Never should have given him his gun.
Whoops. They're just reading the report after, like, wait, he gave his gun up to 2 robbers?
Reminded them they
Burglars?
hadn't taken it. All right, we're going
All right,
back
yeah,
on
yeah.
traffic. Okay.
Captain America, First Avenger. Jeff, since this is your first time here on Movie Nights
Sure.
at the Roundtable, would you like to give us the plot synopsis for Captain America, the First Avenger?
Try to keep it shorter than my plot synopsis of the short,
Okay.
Oh man, harsh.
because I spent too much time.
Scene
talking
opens
about
on Captain America being a weenie and getting turned away from the army a bunch of times, and then he gets turned away a bunch more times, and then he goes out and sees a movie on a double date with Bucky, and there are 2 girls there, and neither of them pay attention to him, and
They
he doesn't
both
pay
totally
attention
want
to
Bucky.
anybody else.
Yeah.
And on his date, he tries to go and apply for the army again.
I think it's his 6th attempt?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's remarked upon. So old dude notices why you're trying so many times.
You guys
Gets
pick up
brought
the
in.
pace. Pick up the pace. Let's go.
They put
Why?
him in
This is the only part of the
Adventure.
movie that's got depth
Right,
to it.
that's
guess
the funny
that's
thing.
true. I
This
guess
is the
that's
cool
true.
Yeah,
part that I
everything else,
remember.
yeah.
There's, I could explain the action scenes, but that's going to take an hour. Okay, so
Talk in the window.
gets rejected a bunch. Old doctor guy's like, wow, you could be a cool super soldier. So he goes to cool super soldier training camp. Some of the guys there are
It
jerks
looks like regular army camp.
and dumb.
Right,
He's
yeah.
not, and he's smart. He figures shit out. They're like, wow, you're going to be the super soldier. So they bring him into this
Oh,
thing.
you're smart.
They inject him with a bunch of blue super soldier juice, and they're like, get in this pod. And he's like, I'll do it because I'm Captain America already.
right.
So he goes in.
The
He's
real
true
America's
of
in
heart,
your heart.
and then he's going to die. Oh,
Fill
no.
him full about Tide Pods.
Yes. Yeah, they pump him full of Tide Pods and then expose him to ultraviolet radiation. Oh, no, he's
Until
Captain
he
America
screams.
now.
Yeah.
No, he's hot.
Strangely, instead
Yeah,
everyone
now
is
he's
like,
hot and
gotta touch him.
oiled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone is touching him.
even
hairless.
Peggy just boops him once real quick. She like doesn't want to do a full hand. She's just boop. Yep.
Go-
Okay.
She knows she'd be like, and all the way down, and now that's your pants, and all right.
Yeah, exactly. It would have gone too far.
That's
So,
illegal.
he becomes super soldier guy. Then directly after that, he does not go to war because he's only one person, which is the logic
And
that
Tommy
the
Lee
general
is all
has.
grumpy.
It's kind of amazing because, like, the whole idea is, like, in World War II, there was a draft. The whole point was everybody is just
Yeah.
one soldier, so everybody's
Fucking
getting in
send
there.
him.
Yeah.
And then so the fact that he becomes the, like, spokesman for the
Figurehead.
USO show doesn't make any sense. You made this, like, perfect human being, and you're like, yes, he'll be a great actor. So anyway,
Yeah.
he's
He's not.
he's
as
not.
it turns
He's
out.
terrible.
I mean,
at
he's
it.
more. It's more the figurehead. Look at how awesome he is. We're gonna be
Right.
so great. You should give us money.
So that goes on for a while. Eventually, he goes to the actual war, and all the soldiers are like, "You suck. You're an actor.
Fuck
We don't
yeah.
like you." They don't like him.
Give us the girls. We haven't had a boner in months.
We've had too many boners. Actually, that's the problem.
So eventually, he finds out Bucky is missing / possibly dead. Am I skipping anything?
That's
it
pretty
doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
no,
no,
that's
that's
right, yeah.
you're
Right.
100%.
Okay.
Yep.
We're-
He's like,
yeah.
oh shit, that was the 107th.
Bucky is
Where's
dead.
Bucky?
Oh no! And they're like, oh, but he's probably dead and 30 miles behind line. So Captain America puts on a leather jacket, doesn't grab
and
any
steals
fucking
one
gear.
of the girls'
Yes.
helmets.
He takes
Yeah.
a fake USO show helmet and a leather jacket, and he's
And,
like, yeah,
and
I'm
his,
good for
and
and
war.
his
shield.
fake shield.
And his, like, aluminum shield.
That's right. Yes, and his shield made out of an oil can.
It's really, yeah.
And somehow gets Peggy and Stark to steal a plane, or
Howard Stark.
Howard, yeah.
Yeah.
I
not
assume it's
Tony,
Howard
yeah.
To be-
Stark's plane, to be dead honest.
I think it
yeah,
is.
okay.
I think it's implied
Could
to
be
just
one of like
his.
his test planes or something. You know?
Okay.
He's a fucking pilot.
Still,
But still,
Still though,
I
talks
had a
them
problem with
into
Stark
flying
just
him.
like flying him in for no reason.
yeah,
You know,
I thought it was
whatever.
some nobody,
very
and then he
much
turns
jumped
around and he's
to
like,
it.
"Hey, I'm Howard Stark." And he's like,
See?
No, that you don't see him in that
Business
sequence. It's
science.
just Peggy telling you it's him.
no, he turns around.
You
Yeah,
see
he's
him?
there.
I think he
Is he?
does.
Oh.
Yeah,
it's like
for
for
sure. 'Cause
that's when
1
the fondue
second.
invitation
Oh, you're right.
happens.
You're right.
Yeah. It's just really short. Okay, so they fly in. Captain America jumps out of the plane. He's on the ground. He's beating up dudes. He just walks into a fucking base.
He fucking rescues everybody.
Explosions, shooties. Hey, come with me. Who are you, Captain America? Who's that? Doesn't matter. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh no! Look in here. It's Bucky, who just happens to be in a cell. You know,
He's all like strapped
tied
up
to
for
a
experiments
table.
and shit. Yeah.
kind of out of his mind. He's like, Bucky. Oh my God. Also, we'll remark. Really unemotional reunion of 2 childhood friends.
I thought you were dead. I thought you were smaller.
Yeah.
I
Just like
mean-
Bucky.
oh hey, man.
Hi. Cool.
All right, let's go.
That's it.
Hey, nice
I mean,
map.
Bucky didn't recognize it at first.
Emotions
either.
didn't
That's
exist
true.
in the 40s. That's
they,
the trick.
They were still working on them.
Yeah,
Okay.
those were exclusively for stage shows and dance musicals.
That's
Those
what a lot of
nerds
those experiments
escape.
were for. Were for
Yeah.
the emotions.
Yeah.
Those nerds escape. They go back to the army base, and everybody's like, "Wow, really good job! You guys escaped from the
Nazi
enemy
torture
forces."
camp,
Yeah, that
yeah.
was pretty impressive.
Oh
Wow,
man, I guess
Captain's
you're not
cool
lame.
now.
Yeah.
Somewhere in this mix, suddenly Captain forms a super best friend squad with a bunch of
Yeah.
random and very
Just
nationally
drunk guys.
diverse people. Yeah. And then he goes back to America,
I
and
don't think he does.
No, then he just does like 30 missions.
No,
in a
they
row.
do go back
That's
to America. They do go. Oh no, sorry. This is
No,
after
they
they
destroy
leave.
all
Yeah.
the bases because he saw the map. So like they run
Yeah.
around destroying all of Red
Yes.
Skull's labs and
Yeah, he-
bases and
Yep,
Hydra
yep, yep.
bases and stuff.
He saw a map for like 10 seconds. It's like, I know their whole plan.
yeah.
I mean, they were all the bases on the map, and he was like, "There was a base here, 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 and here. Let's go blow them up."
I guess
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
so a little hand waving they go, and
a lot of hand waving.
and this was, as you said, Rick, the World War II happened section
Yeah,
of the movie.
the
Oh yeah, the
montage.
montage of
5
World War
minutes
II.
explodey montage of boom
and
oh,
them
no.
jumping out of
Literally,
planes and like
based on the
a lot
timeline-
of a lot of Captain America's classic comic books.
Based,
actually,
based on the
probably.
Probably
timeline,
true.
like a straight up year and a half passes in this montage.
Yes.
like a long ass time goes
and they
by.
murdered people for
And-
a year and a half.
Yeah, it takes like 15 minutes in the movie.
Less.
Oh God,
Yeah,
no,
less
like
than that?
5, 6.
Less. It's like maybe it's definitely less than 10 for sure.
a couple minutes.
For this
Yeah.
montage.
They're just
yeah.
kind of like, oh hey, and then we're gonna go blow up all of his bases, and then there's like a
They
few
could've-
minutes of montaging of them blowing shit up, and
They
Red
could've put
Skull
the-
being like angry and showing up and seeing like a burning base and things.
Maybe
They
I
could've
just I
straight up-
feel like they
That's it.
should have spent a little more time. So I wanted
They
to say
didn't.
15 whole minutes.
They
Yeah.
didn't
War
spend
II.
that
Yeah.
time. That was not time they spent.
But regardless,
So they go and basically fight World War II in about 10 minutes.
That happens.
We'll stay with 10.
do you think that was on the script like that? They just have like,
And
all right, cool, and they go to the
World War II
bases,
happens, yeah.
and then like
Boop.
scene 93. Stage directions. They fight World War II. Scene 94.
Yeah.
World War II is almost done. Nailed it.
I think there's a page that
Montage.
says "Do World War II" here. And then,
Okay.
Hard brackets.
Yeah.
Okay, so once they're finishing doing World War II,
yeah, they did it really hard.
they did it so good.
Oh yeah.
They're trying to track down Red Skull, and they figure out that he's on a train, I think.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
Zola is at least.
Zola. Oh, Zola. That's
like
right.
the
Okay.
chief Hydra scientist.
Yes. So they go and do this fun train heist thing where nobody falls off the train yet. And they have a big old fight.
Spoilers.
Sorry, it's a 30-second
Joffrey.
spoiler. There's fighties, and then there's double gun
There's
guy.
fighties.
Oh yeah,
who's-
Corporal Gun.
Iron
Corporal Gun.
Iron
yeah.
Hands.
Iron, yes,
Iron
Iron
Hand.
Gentleman.
Corporal
The ironic
Gun.
man.
Who looks real cool, but then basically he gets just dump trucked in about 2 minutes.
He
and
really does.
Bucky's
Fact.
fighting. The other guys disappear. Then he fights another double arm weirdo guy, and oh no,
Most people
Bucky's-
have 2 arms, Jeff. I don't know how to.
Double arm
well,
weirdo.
double
But a lot of
special
people are
arm.
also weirdos.
That's
so
true.
We're all double arm
Double-arm
weirdos.
Fair. I suppose that's an accurate statement.
I don't remember exactly how, but an explosion happens, and Bucky is on
no,
the
it's because
outside
Red
of the
Skull.
train.
Red Skull was all like, "Up, they've invaded the base. Time to arm my 27
still the
different
train.
bombs."
We're still on the train.
Oh, no, you're
Bucky's
right.
Yeah.
He's on the inside of the train, and then he's like, I'm on the outside of the train.
Yeah.
I think somebody
He got
was
shot
like
by the double-armed
shooting
weirdo.
guns or
Yes.
something. I don't know.
Corporal Gun.
After having his literal single shot moment of Bucky with the Captain
Yeah.
America shield to fuel the fan, like,
He
hey, he
block-
did it.
Oh, that's how he gets knocked out of the train.
Yeah.
That's right. The ricochet pushes him out of the
Yeah,
train.
yeah.
Okay, that happens. Bucky falls. Oh no. Again, really emotionally devoid moment for the death of a childhood friend.
Yeah.
Captain America was
And the
Bucky.
cat, he's like,
Uh,
very shocked for a
bummer,
minute, and then he's like, "All right,
dude.
moving
Yeah.
on."
And then there was a great little scene that I remember very vividly of about 5 seconds where there's 2 dudes driving the train or something, and a random, previously unknown soldier just comes in the door and goes, "Hey!" with his gun, and they're like,
We
"We
won."
surrender."
Yeah.
And that's the end of the sequence. It's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, and other stuff happened on the train at
right.
the end.
It's like maybe start with that part.
Yeah, sure. Get
There's a
them to
lot of plots
capture
that,
first.
that revolve around that, including the final Hydra base where Cap gets captured and then they jump in through the windows. Like maybe start with the jumping through the window directly into Red Skull's like office.
Somebody else does the cool thing.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll speed it up towards the end.
Just like the movie.
Bucky literally like the movie.
Burn.
Bucky dies or falls off the train somehow. Captain's super mad. They know where the final base is, and they're like, how are we going to come up with a cool plan to do this all stealthy-like? And Cap's like, fuck it, Leroy Jenkins.
Yep.
Runs in the front with a cool-ass motorcycle. I don't get why
just
he's...
alongside, just running along with it.
Let's go, motorcycle.
He's faster than cars.
I don't...
Yeah.
Yeah, so why was he even riding a motorcycle? He's fucking faster than cars.
Because the motorcycle farted fire.
That's
It
true.
did.
So yeah,
That's where you get Spitfire.
he's all afraid of technology, and yet he uses this hyper advanced combat cycle. It doesn't make sense.
Ironic.
Yeah. So drives a motorcycle in, and then you're like,
technology.
oh no, Captain America got, or maybe he was like put off by technology because it's.
And he put himself in the little like capsule that made him a
He
super
is
soldier.
technology.
Yeah. Anyway,
So he drives in, and you're like, oh no, Captain America, he's gonna be captured. He isn't, because it's all part of the plan.
Captured America.
Guys are like, haha, Captain America, we have you. And then as a gun goes to his head, bros come through the window, smashy, run around, everything's exploding. Oh no, get him. We got to chase this guy. Oh, he's going this way. I got it. Thanks. Shield in the door. Oh,
It's like
man.
I'm there.
Peggy, you're good.
Right? It's
I'm
unreal.
gonna- she's like, you got to go do the thing. He's like, right, thing. Grab shield through the door.
thing.
Fucking, oh no,
the
it's Red
thing, man.
Skull. Let's have a quick fight. Captain America hides behind a bulkhead. Red Skull shoots a pistol at various points in the room that Captain America isn't.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah, JIC. I think Captain maybe throws his shield once, and the Tesseract gets knocked over.
Yeah.
And Red Skull picks it up and goes, oh, the Tesseract is, and then dies. Or something.
Yeah,
You watch the
something
eyeballs
happened.
get melted from their sockets.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a weird blue laser thing.
He's
I think
certainly
it should
no
count as a
longer
blue
there.
laser.
The final
He sure
score
is a Red Skull.
Captain America 0, Red Skull 0, Tesseract 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right.
I mean,
and
until
then-
the denouement at the end, and then it's like, oh, hey, we found it.
Yes. Oh, and let's gloss over the whole fucking end section of the movie
It's just,
where Captain's
by the
on
way,
a
Hitler's
plane.
dead now.
There was a fucking switch of
Oh,
autopilot on or off, and he's like, I don't know how to turn the autopilot off.
Yeah.
And his reasoning is, I can't bring the plane down. I can't land the plane without risking the explosives going off. So he decides to
Wait,
crash it instead.
That was the.
Yeah,
There's all
because
those
there's
Was that really
nuclear
the
weapons
rationale?
on them.
yeah, there's still bombs in the
Yeah.
thing, and like
It's not safe
the
around
engines are
people
failing, and he's
and-
like, I don't want to risk landing it somewhere populated. I'm just
really-
gonna crash it.
It might have been improved if they just like when he crashes, they sit there for a second, and then like the bombs
Yeah.
go off, and like just in his like main compartment, it's shielding away, or just buries him really
Sure,
deep
yeah,
or
he's
something.
safe.
Like,
That was a
Make
really
more
weird
sense, yeah.
noise.
like just bring it all.
I don't
the
know.
thread's there.
Well,
just
it's
tug on it a
just
little
like
bit.
the plane crashes and they're like, "Where'd Cap go?" I don't know. There's a giant fucking crash
Greenland?
plane in the Arctic. It's the only thing
Yeah.
there now.
We lost contact with him here, so I don't know.
It's the only thing in the Arctic. It's nothing, 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 nothing. Crashed plane. Nothing, 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 nothing. Yeah, and they couldn't find him.
And when they
But
found
they
it,
did
it was
find the
still
Tesseract
sticking
in
out.
the ocean.
right,
Yes.
they found a cube that was this big in the middle of the ocean.
Howard knew what the fuck he was doing, apparently.
Whatever. The ending was dumb.
Yeah. So big plane crash. Captain goes into the ice, and then we get the the beginning of the movie was actually the end of the movie.
And now he's waking up and they're trying to pretend it's like
Yes.
still his time and
Oh,
stuff.
it's Nick
Yeah.
Fury
But
run
they-
around.
yeah, they pretend
Times
for like 10
Square.
seconds, and he immediately knows.
Yeah, he's like, no.
It's like, I was at that game you have on the radio, so this
Right.
can't possibly.
Here's the
think
thing, it's like,
it'd be
but
real
they
easy
do
to be like-
replay games. Like,
With
Well,
all of Shield's resources,
Back
could they
then, it would have
not
been way
have
too expensive for
researched?
that shit.
no, like replay it on the like just the audio,
What do you mean?
like the recording of the game.
I mean, it
You
could
Right,
be a
but
rebroadcast, possibly.
rebroadcast.
Yeah.
the
But-
audio
Did they
from
do that in the
bespoke
40s
game.
though? Like this is a game that
thought
would have been.
they
This is a
did.
game that would have been about 3 or 4 years old at this point. Wow, the daylight has
Yes.
vanished on us.
Yeah,
Right,
a cloud
and
just
we were
crossed
using that for
the-
natural lighting.
just
The
for
for
the
cloud
night
just
cycle.
crossed
Well,
the sun all of a
let's speed
sudden.
it along so it doesn't get nighttime.
Oh, yeah, we.
Wow.
And that's it. Captain America is cool and is now in today. The end.
Checklist.
Let me hit the
You want me
lights
to-
first.
Checklist.
Well,
Oh,
maybe
we
we'll
can- we
jump
do
into
have
that
lights
thing.
we can Okay.
Hang on
do.
one second.
Look at Tonk being all adorable as all fucking hell over there, though.
Magic accomplished.
So
Bam.
before
so cute.
Welcome back.
we get into the checklist, because I feel like we jump into it a little quick sometimes.
Did I
think we
miss
should jump
anything?
into it
let's
quicker.
let's
No, I
talk.
think
Let's
you were
talk about the
very
movie
thorough.
itself. You're pretty good with that. So like, this
I would have
movie
said
has
far less.
this
Okay.
movie has some really big pacing issues. Like that's probably the number
Yes.
one problem I have with it is the pacing is wildly the first
It's-
hour of the movie
Yeah.
is like a week. And then suddenly a year and a half explicitly of World War II happens in minutes.
But that's also like a, and now we take a quick break and we jump to another section.
Well,
sort
it's
of.
not even like a quick break. The only section you
There's a
get is
lot of a
capturing
montage.
Zola. And then you're at the final battle. Like there is
very much.
no.
Yeah, they just kind of jump right to it.
And for an
It's-
origin story, it's like we don't want. All right, let's have every single thing happen, but like maybe a little bit of like.
But it is kind of like how you not have to, but how these origin stories get structured. Like it happened with the first Iron Man 2, where there's just a lot of setup with the character and like getting to know him and like
Yeah, but you don't
how
like-
how he gets made.
You don't like gloss
You know,
over
all
like
the-
missions he goes on though.
No,
Kinda
no,
do.
no, I'm not saying
What
it
missions
doesn't.
they gloss
I'm not
over,
saying it
though?
doesn't
They're like
have
a little
pacing
bit.
issues.
It's not
just
as
like,
aggressive. It's only a couple months.
Aren't there
but they
times
do
where
gloss a little
it's just
bit.
like Tony Stark celebrating after doing something cool, or like
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They don't do it as vigorously, but I think there's like a couple months of like him kicking ass around America and stuff.
No, they don't show any of that because like
Right.
in
Doesn't he go to
Iron Man.
Africa or something.
No,
too?
he goes
He's-
back to Gulmira to knock out
That's
the
it.
10 Rings forces that are there,
I'm
and
just-
that's very quickly after he gets back to America.
I'm not saying that there's no pacing issues in this movie.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that like it's the like act structure is kind of like a lot of the weight is on the first act.
Yeah, very very top heavy.
You
The
know,
movie
like-
is
like-
super front loaded.
My favorite part was how Captain America didn't kill Red Skull.
Yeah, Red Skull just kind of grabbed the key. He sits there
Would he have
for
killed
the
him
longest
anyway?
possible amount of time,
yeah,
just
holding that
staring
Tesseract
at
as
it,
it
going,
slowly blazers up.
Yeah. Just looking at it.
and like his glove is shredding and his hand is melting, and he's still just like, oh.
I mean,
and then all
he's
of a
seeing
sudden,
all the answers to space and time in the universe.
I guess, but it's like his face is melting off, and only then is he like, oh no!
Yeah, wait.
Like,
Oh yeah, we had that weird, specially designed metal grabby thing for a reason.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
It's like
right.
we've been handling
That's
this very carefully all movie.
We had that whole thing with the not touching it with our bare flesh.
Yeah.
Strange decision in that moment. But
one of
to
the
tie it back, pacing wise,
yeah.
the end seemed like it was suddenly like a quick sprint and we're out. Like,
yeah, there was no.
It is. It is.
The finale was
chapter
nothing.
finale.
There was a build up, and then suddenly Red Skull just grabs the Tesseract and vaporizes,
Yep.
and then it's like, oh, crash and we're out.
It honestly feels like the movie should have ended with them rescuing everybody from
Is that
the like
runtime
30
on here
miles
2 hours
behind
prison
enemy
camp.
lines, blah blah blah. Like
That was 2 hours.
them returning with all the people. It's like they tack on an extra
It's
half
true.
hour of movie
There was
to
much.
complete the Red Skull storyline.
There was
Basically,
a much more triumphant feeling section where they all like just marched back into
because
the.
it should have been a second movie, really, realistically.
here's the
no,
thing.
for like proper pacing. I mean, like you would have had this
Oh, yeah.
movie ending with them all getting back to the camp and hurrah. The next movie would have been like more involved with them taking out those other camps. It would have actually been like a thing. Bucky, you would have seen
Yeah.
a lot of that
Locking
connection
down
between
Hydra
him and
stuff,
Bucky.
yeah.
Like,
That's a pretty
you would have
common-
actually gotten attached to all those characters. Then they would have gone and assaulted the final base.
Yeah.
People would
So
have
this-
died. We would have given a shit.
Yeah.
There would have been the
See,
fight.
this-
It would have had more meaning.
That's
I
a
think
pretty
this
common-
is kind of. I'm sorry, I don't mean to like jump
right.
into what you were trying to say, but I think this is kind of like the interconnectivity of the Marvel universes because a lot of the Agent Peggy Carter show,
Yeah.
I think, is that part where you like get to know the other like
yeah, everybody else involved.
British man. China guy. You know, they have like
Oh, yeah,
someone from
yeah.
every country.
Japan
No, and like, I
dude,
think
French
they
guy
do
who
it
can't
on
speak
purpose.
English.
They were like, we don't
Yeah.
want to spend 2 movies in the past with Captain America. 'Cause, like that's not what we care about. We're trying
Right.
to do this Avengers thing.
Because a
And,
very,
like,
a very standard, I wouldn't even necessarily call it stock, but like a very common sequel thing, especially with superhero movies, is that the second movie kind of takes place in the midst of them doing superhero things. That's what they, I mean, or like the implication that they've got a career doing this now. Like
Yeah,
the Dark Knight
we're
series does that too.
established
They
at this
reestablish
point.
normalcy of the character being that their normal is now you are superhero full time.
Yeah. Thor: The
Or
Dark
at
World,
least-
for better or for worse, does this. The opening of that movie, after you get the opening narration about what, you know, the dark elves and the ether and all that stuff are, the first thing you see of Thor is them saving another one of the 9 realms from an attack.
Right.
And like one of the only things that movie does right is like if he's an established hero, set that immediately and then walk away from be like, look,
we
here's
don't
what he's
need
been
to
up
keep
to.
doing
Yeah.
it because we know this
He's
is
a
thing.
space
Yeah.
god. He's been doing this for a while. Roll with it. Okay, so we're discussing the pacing.
Yeah.
Still.
Are we? Yeah.
The pacing of this
I just
review
think
is
it
very
would've-
front loaded.
Pacing
I'm
of
just
this
saying, I
Talk
think
about
it would have been
pacing.
a better pacing to have split it into the 2 movies. That's what would have felt better.
Sure.
2
Yeah.
hour-and-a-half long movies, but they didn't want to do that. They wanted to do a single movie, explain Captain America's origin, get Red Skull dealt with.
I
and
think
move back on.
the better way for them to do it, especially since it's clear that this was intended as a prequel for the Avengers,
Yep.
and setting up Captain America all at once. If they moved the rescue mission of everyone outside of Bucky to the end in some way.
Oh yeah, had that all been one piece, that would have made sense too. Like
Yes.
instead of them just having that little fight with Red Skull where he then gets away,
'Cause-
have it have been the full real fight.
Like the
You have-
stakes are
then-
higher,
now
but you're
you're-
not as invested
Now
personally.
your 3 acts are skinny Cap,
Yep.
the rise of Cap,
Yep.
where he's like, you know, made,
And then the final
like
confrontation.
the USO, and then like the battling,
Yeah.
where they like make the team and they go on one big mission,
As opposed
where
to
they save Bucky from Red Skull and then do the whole
And-
thing at
and
the
deal
end.
with
Take
it
down
all.
his lab and he escapes on the plane.
Yeah, instead of
Yeah.
having if they were gonna break it up into chunks, you have to properly break it up into
Oh
chunks.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
They kind of half-weighed it, and it didn't.
Yeah, it was a little. It felt a little like the pacing at the beginning was super slow. A lot of the gravity of the situation felt like it was shoved to the middle of the movie, and then the ending is like, all right, fight at the base, fight on the plane. And it's like, oh yeah, there's bombs. I'm like, oh, I guess there's bombs. All right.
We
I
did
feel
it.
like they did it partly because they were like, okay, we want to acknowledge all that time that like the classic Captain America has spent in the comics fighting the World War II and blah blah blah.
Sure.
So like they wanted to give space for that.
But they didn't.
Well, they did. That's that year and a half of World War II happened.
Yeah,
Right.
They tried to give space, but so much happened that it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't
I'm just
really
saying, like,
come off
technically, that's like,
effectively.
that would be where it happens. They don't, go spend any time looking at it,
Yeah.
but this timing is there.
And it would be a fun and rad movie to watch Captain America actually kind of go through Europe, helping with like
Right.
World War II, and guys
got
being
into
like,
this-
"Holy shit!" Like
we got
he's
into
real.
this like strange. It felt weirdly like tonally off for both a war documentary style movie and also a superhero movie, because it's all these like hyped up action shot montage slow mo things in a row. So it's really hard to get a sense of time, because it's just here's
does get
Captain
weird.
America riding a motorcycle through a burning barn. Here's him jumping off a hyper tank as it explodes.
yeah, the
and
Chongus
here's
tank.
And here's Red Skull driving up in his car and looking real angry because, damn it, Captain America again. Like, you just kind of like, it's just this mush of like,
you
by
get
the way,
no
World
feel
War
for
II
any
happened.
of that.
Shotgun experience.
Yeah. What I was going to say, honestly, is we need to give a serious nod of the hat to the face mapping tech that they use at the start of the movie.
They do use good face mapping tech.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
that
making
is,
him look like a little weenie.
yeah, I
It was
thought
pretty good.
it was, I would
think
give
it's
it
very
like,
solid.
if I had to give it a grade,
For, like,
especially for 2011.
8 years ago, it was
I'd
pretty
give,
solid.
I'd give it like a 9 out of 10. It's so
I would
close
agree.
until you really start like.
You have to really be looking for
Yeah.
it to notice. It's very hard to see.
There's a
otherwise.
little
That
bit of
chin
a
was weird
focus
pretty
difference.
immediately.
Yeah.
But honestly, though,
The
I've
chin.
seen
The chin
people.
is the hard part.
I've seen people with weird pointy faces like that.
Right.
Not to
It's
be,
not,
mean.
I mean, yes,
No,
including
but like
the
there
pointy
are
face
like
people.
there are guys like I've definitely seen guys, especially those ones that are gangly like that. They
Right.
tend to get that like longer pointy chin and the longer pointy
Right,
nose, along
like-
with the like long pointy
like
arms
the-
and legs and elbows and shit.
like the man
Like,
who was the
wasn't
physical
that-
body of Steve Rogers for that. I'm not talking about the
Right.
chin. I'm talking about like the mouth. The face was a little too large. So at times when his
Yes.
mouth is open, his lower lip was like resting in the middle of the bone of his
Yeah.
chin, and
Yeah.
it was like
I don't know,
that's
it-
a bit much.
Apparently, the guy who
It was
played
rare.
the body double actually was an extra in a previous shot.
Hilarious. So he was just
Yep.
in the movie
Yeah,
elsewhere.
so he was
That's
also
funny.
in the movie. I mean, not with Steve Rogers' face, obviously,
Yeah.
but he
Yeah.
exists.
No, he has the
elsewhere.
same face. He's like-
Just a little Steve Rogers standing in the background.
Just like, wait,
staring
what?
in the wrong direction.
But no, like honestly, pretty fucking good for the time.
Pretty good, yeah.
Like
no, I think it looks pretty solid.
the issues with it for me came down to the chin, it was a little off in terms of facial proportions, and if you
you
look
looking at?
really closely,
It's like looking
there's
at-
the tiniest difference of like how focused it is on his face versus like the area around his face. But again, you have to be looking for it to really matter. Otherwise, it's solid. It's
I
great.
give it a,
Once you
I'd
bring
give
it up once, it took
You're-
me out of it a
it's
little
like
bit.
Dutch
but-
Thor all
Yes.
over again.
I guess so.
Every time
I guess
look
so.
at him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
now you can't
notice.
see Thor without
But-
going like fucking this for the whole movie.
It looks a little off, but it's not like I'm sitting there like, well, this ruins the
Yeah,
movie. It's
no,
just like,
not at all.
well, I didn't quite get that.
It was
perfect,
really well
but
done.
I mean, whatever, you know.
And frankly, it was good practice because
Did I-
over time, Marvel does that more and more and
Yeah,
more.
they do a
as movies
lot
go
of face
on.
stuff.
Especially Phase 3. Phase 3, they did an absolute shitload of that. So we'll get a good look
see
at that when that
more.
comes around. We got Stanley Tucci as Dr. Erskine.
Yeah, I like Stanley.
That was
Tucci.
good. He is a fucking real good. Anytime I see him and stuff, I'm always like, oh yes,
Yay.
I like
he's
that he
here.
takes like shitty roles and does the best he can with them.
Yeah. He's such a fucking hardworking actor. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't care how goofy it is. I'm gonna act the shit out of this.
Like he was in fucking Transformers, and you know what? I think it was the only good part of Transformers.
played
And
he played the
burn.
weird exec guy, and then he played Merlin in another one, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't watched
I don't know if it
Transformers.
was
I've seen
really
clips, and he seems
Strangely,
pretty
I mean,
solid
the
with it.
backup to Chris Evans in this, Tommy Lee Jones, Hugo Weaving, and
Yeah.
Stanley Tucci
That's
are
a
all
star-studded
Yeah,
cast.
that is
That's
a
good.
huge backup right
They
there.
had some money
Yeah.
at this point.
Strangely,
That's true, yeah.
no mention of the actress who plays Peggy.
No Hayley Atwell. on that
No
thing?
women listed on the front of
I
the
don't know if
cover
she's-
whatsoever.
It's literally.
Well, I mean, she's a main character, but I don't think her name is a draw.
they also don't have.
suppose.
You know what I
God,
mean?
What's his name? Dominic something. Whoever played Howard Stark.
Yeah.
Because really,
Yeah, because he comes
Which is
back.
surprising, and he's in there like a decent amount, honestly.
I'd say it'd be like, so you
But
got
it's not
Steve
like-
Rogers,
I don't know who that is.
Hugo Weaving.
Yeah,
True.
fair.
Yeah, if you're trying to sell movie tickets.
That's what
Yeah.
this is for. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, Hugo Weaving. Oh,
I know that name, right?
Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah, everyone
Playing
knows
Tommy
him.
Lee Jones.
Yeah.
Hey now.
You could
He's
get
good at
some
it.
old. You
Yeah.
could get some old person to buy this movie because Tommy Lee Jones's name is on it.
They
know who he is.
They also did a really good job of doing the like kind of folksy wisdom in the first half of this movie. There's a lot of like, oh, it's all about heart, and it's like, just because he's strong, just because someone's strong doesn't mean that they're the
Good
best
person
and,
or
like,
whatever. Yeah.
The best one, and the one that stuck with me the most, as far as like, damn, that is a really good point, is the bit where Dr. Erskine is talking about how Nazi Germany even happened in the first place.
Yeah, the first country they
that was
attacked.
pretty poignant.
Yeah. Like, for one, you get a brief little look at, like, post-World War I Germany being, like, super disaffected and angry.
Hey, did you ever learn about the Weimar Republic? Here's a tiny little lesson.
Yeah.
Everyone was sad and depressed, and then
And eventually they went, yeah, fuck this, let's do it again.
Yeah.
And when the way
But
he
better.
put it, of like when they came with their flags and their songs and
Yeah.
stuff, everybody's like, "This is better than moping around and
Better than
Right.
being sad all the
depressed."
time.
Yeah.
And so, but, like, that point about, like, yeah, the first country that the Nazis attacked was Germany. It's like, that's a valid point.
Yep.
Like, it's not like one day everyone got up and was like, yeah, fuck everybody.
Nazi stuff today.
There's a bunch of sad people that got very easily overtaken by this, like, viral
Talked into
movement.
it, and then the people
Also-
who didn't were,
Yeah,
taken
people
away.
wasn't-
and-
Yeah.
People starving to death on the regular.
Which also got brought up later
Kinda-
on in the movie.
Yep.
That, like, they're talking about how by this point, like 1943, 1944, like, the Nazis are barely eating at
Hitler's
all.
struggling to feed his armies.
Yeah. Like, and that's what kind of drives Red Skull away, is like, Hitler sucks. He's really shitty at his job.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, like, yeah, if the war lasted much longer,
Yeah.
the Nazi soldiers were probably going to start defecting for the sake of not starving to death.
Historically, thank God Hitler was bad at his job.
Like, yes, yeah, holy cow.
He was bad at everything.
yeah.
War, painting,
What a dick.
Ouch.
facial
Facial hair.
care.
Top of head, he always looked oily.
Volume of the voice control.
Drug
none,
intake.
None of it. He was just like, nope, yep,
He was like
Oh,
methed out
God.
all the time, right?
Yeah.
probably. I don't know.
From what I understand, I'm not a big historian, but I've read that he was on meth a lot.
I like
Did a lot of meth.
I like the connections that this movie makes to Iron Man. They're subtle, but they're there.
Well, yeah, I mean,
With
how
Howard
Howie
Stark,
Stark
you
is
mean?
in
Yeah,
there.
Not,
subtle.
I mean, Howard Stark is probably the least subtle part of it. But
Do you
I'm
mean
talking
the visual? Like the noise.
Yeah,
you
so-
mentioned?
so-
Oh,
if you
the
listen
Tesseract
carefully-
cube.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
so the
yeah.
Hydra weapons are built with Tesseract, like, inspired technology, and they make that sound like,
and the dude walks up and goes like this.
yep.
Like,
And if you listen, it's literally the same
Tonka.
sound effect that happens with Iron Man. Like, and his weapons. It's the same, like, high-pitched hum and
Yeah.
thing.
Well, we were talking about how like the arc reactor and everything seems to be based off of the Tesseract structure or whatever. I don't know.
Even at the Hydra base, when he's looking and finding the, like, energy bars, I don't even know what to call those things. They're basically batteries.
Yeah.
But, like, when he finds those, he finds them next to these huge wheels of them that look
Yeah.
very
Right.
reminiscent
Like
of
an
an arc
arc
reactor.
reactor.
there's energy that was drawn out of the Tesseract and then compacted and miniaturized into the little like gun
The
clips.
little, exactly.
He basically brought them back a tiny Tesseract battery.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool, and it gives Howard Stark his first taste of it. That leads into him and making those notebooks that Tony finds in Iron Man 2, and like all that stuff. So it's like there's it's fairly subtle. There's less subtle parts to it, but it's pretty subtle world building that's like starting to weave some connections between these movies. That I think is kind of neat.
It was tasteful.
Yeah.
Checklist.
It's much better than the DC ones that are like, by the way, here's my private video collection
I
of
know.
4 other heroes that I have named that they will eventually name themselves.
Yeah.
Ready? Here we go.
my
Aquaman.
God.
Yeah. Less subtle.
Awkwardly on the nose. Yeah.
All right.
Like punched in the nose.
Let's do the
Anyway.
checklist. Because the checklist, I think this time we're going to be kind of surprised. Almost none of these are explicit yeses. I was very surprised watching this, just how few of our checklist, just how un-MCU tropey this movie actually is at the end of the day.
Okay.
So right off the top, we got origin and backstory.
I mean,
Like,
yeah, 'cause
yeah.
it has to be. It's a fucking. It's
Yeah.
the first
We don't
one.
really need to discuss that at all.
I think
He is
literally
made.
the only one of these movies. I guess the only 2 of these movies.
Iron Man 2.
Well, I mean, not non-sequel movies. The only two of these like movies that are like the first movie of a character that aren't going to be like that are going to be like Spider-Man and Black Panther, I think, because those established themselves in the movie before.
Right.
I guess.
But yeah, no, it's how Steve Rogers becomes Captain America in World War II. You also kind of go into this movie knowing, even if they didn't put the scene in the beginning, everyone more or less now goes with, since the 70s they basically had in the comics that Captain America was frozen in ice and brought back
That's why
X
he's
years
from the
ago.
70s,
Right.
yeah.
Yep. So like, yeah, it's an origin story.
It
like,
fits.
It's pretty straightforward. Daddy issues.
I mean, Howard Stark is in it, but
I mean, yes, I guess, yeah, but nobody's parents are really brought up much at all. You hear about how
Both of Steve's parents
died.
are dead. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like maybe he wants to live up to like something, and like Bucky as a father figure but like it doesn't. Yeah, it never really even gets that. Like that's
Steve's-
the closest. And that's
he's got Science Dad.
Yes.
Dr.
Science
Erskine.
Dad. That's
who's
the
kind of
closest
But I think it's more
he's a
he
brief
like
surrogate
generally
father.
wants to live up to the ideals more.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, his parents both died as a result of World War I, because you've got his dad died in a mustard gas attack, I think I said.
Yeah,
and then his mom died. She was a nurse who died in the TB ward.
Yeah.
So the consumption took her. So like both of them, died as a direct result of World War I. So Steve wants to follow up on that, but it's not.
Yeah.
None of
daddy issues.
Yeah,
No.
none of these characters are driven by
Nah,
daddy issues.
It's hard to
in
have
any
daddy
real
issues
way.
when your daddy is dead and never shown on screen whatsoever.
Yeah, I can't
I
think
don't
of any
they ever
characters
flash
in this
back
that
to
do it.
him or anything.
No,
he's
you've
not
never
really-
seen them.
They're not an important part of
There's
the
literally
story.
one line about them, and that's it.
Yeah,
They're
throwaway
dead,
thing.
yeah.
Both
So
my
no
parents
daddy
are
issues.
dead.
None
Let's
at all.
move on.
Black best friend.
The closest you come is the fact that there is the black soldier marching next to him in that shot.
Who is the rando? I think who ends
Were there-
up taking over the train?
Yep.
That's the same
Is he
guy?
also the one
Yeah.
who speaks? Is he also the one
I
who
just
speaks
think-
French? Or I can't remember if there was one black guy or two in his little in his main platoon.
The French speaking guy just looks like a typical French guy.
Right, but-
like it's very
Yeah, I don't
stereotypical.
think it was. Yeah.
the black guy is the one who translates for him.
Moi, je combattrai jusqu'à ce que le dernier de ces bâtards soit mort, enchaîné, ou bien pleure comme un petit bébé.
J'espère tous les trois.
Moi aussi.
We're in.
No, one of the other black guys knows German, which is how he can drive the tank.
And
I
then
think
he's
that's what
like,
you're thinking
he's
of.
like, oh, I
And
know
then he
he's
said,
just
he,
like-
then he
German.
said he switched to French because the girls were
Goes-
cuter.
Yeah,
Oh
he's a,
shit! Okay.
Was
yeah.
it polyglot? Is that the name
Polyglot
of
is
someone
for-
who
yeah.
can just is really fucking good at speaking lots of languages?
I guess, but that's not really.
Yeah,
he
anyway,
knows how to
there's no
speak
black
English,
best
German,
friend.
and French a little bit.
I don't know 3
yeah.
languages.
I
No, but
mean,
I wouldn't call that a polyglot. He's just
I get-
like,
Yeah,
he's
it's like
taken
he
some
knows a
classes and
couple
knows some
words
basic German
because,
and
yeah.
French. You know?
He only knows how to speak 3 languages, you guys.
but he
No,
doesn't
but it
know
don't
how to
say
speak
It's
German.
just like he knew enough to say that one's the start button.
To
Yeah.
read, yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, no, you're right. He
Yeah.
says that he doesn't know much German.
Right,
Saying,
he took a
I
little
took a
German,
couple
then
classes
switched
and
out.
then
Okay, all right.
switched out because the girls in the French class were cuter.
All right, fair.
Right. Anyway, no
Whole-
black
but
best friend,
Not really black
like-
best friend though.
No.
We gotta wait one more.
Bucky's his
Cap
best
movie for
friend, and
that.
they're all pretty white.
Yeah. The world is changing is still hasn't appeared yet.
They didn't say it explicitly, but like
World
the
War
world,
II is a pretty damn good spot for someone to be
I
like,
mean-
the world is changing.
I will
Yeah.
submit, however, it might have been missed. There's a point where Schmidt is talking about what this Tesseract energy
I was just
will
about to bring it
do,
up,
and
yeah.
the guy says,
This will change the war.
Doot'n, this will change the world.
yeah.
and
Which
ended
I
up
would-
jumping
I would
right
expect
to
I
it.
count
Like,
that. I count. It's not the literal line.
Yeah.
Give it
literally-
a half a check mark.
Yeah, we can give that one a halfway because that's one where like in the later movies that exact line starts
half
showing
a-
up a
that's a
lot.
tilde, not
yeah, the
a
tilde
half
is
a-
like a halfway.
That's how he's
I've been
been
using
doing
that for
it.
halfway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
To
That's
make
like
it
a
clear.
sorta,
That's why it's
kinda
and
sperm swimming.
getting
Does anyone
fired.
get fired in this movie?
Give it a half a sperm.
No.
Even in the bad guys, nobody gets fired. Like Zola doesn't get fired. Bucky doesn't get fired.
Nobody ever gets fired.
No one major gets fired.
No one like
for
loses
sure.
their position or
Schmidt
job.
kind of fires a bunch of the people above him, which
I
is
mean-
not
Yeah,
normally
like
how
they
you
come to
fire
yell at him
somebody.
and he like lasers them, but I
Yeah.
don't think I'd really count that.
It's not really fired
Reverse
though.
firing.
They were like not
Self-promotion?
even there to fire him. They were just kind of there to
It
be
was
like,
like,
hey,
give us
man,
weapons,
you're
man.
not
There's some
being
suits of
awesome
armor
enough.
that like shoot fire.
Yeah,
That's
no, I
true.
wouldn't. I
There's
would
lots
not
of
count
guns
that
that
one.
get fired.
Yeah.
That is also true.
Yep.
But
Nobody gets fired like
no
themselves.
people get
Give
fired.
it 72 half check marks.
We get our Stanley cameo
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
yep, he was there.
when
Is
the
there- are there-
senator.
Any movies that don't have a Stanley cameo?
Not yet,
Sadly.
sadly.
Oh well.
Yeah. But yeah, we get him in a scene where Captain America is being thanked by the senator of New York. Senator of New York or senator from
It was
for
the
New
one
York?
where he
I'm not
doesn't
sure it's a
actually
state
show
senator.
up, and
Yeah,
then he's all
I think-
like, "I thought he'd be taller."
Or
Yeah.
from an overall viable.
3-point landing.
I don't remember there being any in this
I don't
one.
think so. I
off
skipped
the-
one.
Off
Sorry.
the mega
Oh, actually, yeah. Wait, hang on. Let's back
He
up for a
doesn't
second. here.
land. We don't see him land from the mega tank.
Well, hang
he
on.
just jumps off.
What's
We
the
got
one we skipped?
The next one, the one we
tr-
skipped was
Oh.
personal connection to the villain.
I couldn't read it. Sorry.
I'm gonna give this one a no because
I'd
Yeah,
give it
he
a
didn't
sort
know
of
him.
since they were created similarly.
right, but there's no he doesn't know
not
a
him. They're
personal
strangers to each
connection.
other.
Not
Yeah.
like Red Skull pulled his face off and he was like, "Dad."
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Yeah. yeah.
Papa,
Papa,
I only recognize you without a nose.
The mustard gas did this to me, son.
No. God, I'm so glad they didn't do it. Or the 80s and 90s comic book movies would absolutely have pulled that
Yep.
garbage.
Turns
nonsense.
out
Lot
it's
of
my
the
All trying
dad.
to capture that Star Wars magic.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus. That's good, though. The mustard gas.
I don't like
the
mustard gas.
3-point
It's
landing,
rough.
though, I don't
Yeah.
think it ever
It's
happens.
gross. Hurts my
He
skin.
only ever really jumps stuff on the motorcycle. He doesn't do a lot of jumping otherwise.
Yeah, he doesn't really come off of anything.
I'm
I
trying.
think
I'm trying to remember if they do a 3-point landing onto the train from the from the
helicopter.
wire thing.
I don't think so.
If
It wasn't
anything, it's a
impactful enough, I don't think.
low impact 3-point.
I don't
Yeah.
Like if
think
we're
so.
talking the full meaty ass
Dramatic.
3-pointer, it's
Yeah.
like from 60 feet up. There's a weird
there's a
shock
fucking
wave,
crater happens.
and you fuck
yeah.
up the pavement or
No,
something.
yeah, there's a
You know
foot,
what?
a knee, and a
Yeah,
fist, and
they
that's
really
your 3-point
don't,
landing.
whenever Cap like lands, like he's still a person.
Yeah.
So whenever he lands, he like rolls into it to absorb
Right.
the
No,
energy.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's trying to make him seem
He's
realistic.
acting
Yeah.
like a soldier.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I mean, he's fucking.
He is,
the
yeah.
best at everything.
Yeah.
for sure. But like, he can't just like land on his legs. They can still break.
Yeah.
They probably won't, but they could. You know.
Depends how hard he hits. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Next up, we have the damsel in distress, which the closest we get to this is Bucky.
Yeah.
He's
But
n-
even
I
that,
mean-
like, it's he's a prisoner of war.
Yeah,
Right,
he's
it's
a
like
prisoner of war.
400 soldiers got taken prisoner. He was one of them.
I gotta
like-
say,
Though that is the reason
If
that
there
he
were any-
specifically dives
yeah.
in.
Oh,
too.
sure, yeah, but like,
Like
he's
if Peggy
upset
was
about all
with
of
them
it.
and she got captured too,
Yeah.
I still wouldn't say that's
the
a
only,
damsel in distress.
the
She's just
only,
part of it's
like,
like the
maybe
collateral.
if she was
Yeah.
out somewhere special
She's
in there,
in
he had to
war.
do something extra. but
Right, yeah.
even
If they
then-
had just
Yeah.
taken her, then that's damsel in distressy. But like if they capture a whole bunch of fucking
the
soldiers.
only notable damsel in the entire movie would be very distressed at being considered a damsel.
yeah,
for
Peggy
any,
had none of that shit.
Yeah, no.
she
Yeah.
enters the movie by punching out the dickhead in the army recruits.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
no, that's not.
it's a very satisfying
Also-
cold cock maneuver.
I don't know if it's just me, but I did not buy Bucky and Cap's friendship at any point in the movie.
They
didn't
do
do a
not
great
be
job
very
with that.
friendly.
Like
in
they
that
kind of
movie.
look like they knew each other from school at the
Yeah.
beginning, and like the kind of punchy, like, "Look at you, little shrimp," and he's like, "How's the weather up there?" Like it never sold me on
Yeah.
them having an actual
death
friendship.
defying.
Do they?
Yeah, I love you.
feel like they do more.
They get it- they explore
They're
that
better
bunch.
about it
shots
later.
in Captain America 2.
And like they get into it in a couple future
Yeah.
movies. They
This
expand
one
on
did
it.
not do it well. Though.
That's
Did not
like,
do
I'm
good, yeah.
trying to like conceive of it just in this movie, knowing what
the
I know
same
about
as-
Bucky in the future. Sure,
Same as
but, like,
Tony and Rhodey, really.
did
Yeah,
not give
Iron
a
Man
shit.
1, Terrence Howard and Iron Man, like, they did not
The two
feel
main
like
characters.
friends.
Yeah.
But when Don Cheadle
Yeah,
did a
Don
much
Cheadle's
better
one.
job of it being like,
There's way
oh,
more
we're
chemistry
buddies,
with those two,
chemistry,
yeah.
chemistry. Terrence Howard, it was like, so the army told you to look after him?
Yeah.
Like, not that there's anything wrong with that, but like, you're not
yeah,
friends.
that's,
Right.
that's the entirety
like
of your
this
job.
is a job. Like, but like Don Cheadle sells the like, oh no, we're buddies as well, kind of thing, much better in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I never cared about Bucky.
Yeah,
I almost like I couldn't even I couldn't like
Right,
pick him
I
out of a
almost- he
crowd in
looked
this
different.
movie. Like
Yeah.
he's just like chiseled jaw soldier dude.
Yeah, which is
I don't
everybody. They cast everyone so handsome in this movie that
Yeah.
it's actually a lot harder to
I
pick
think
out Stan Sebastian, who is or Sebastian Stan,
Yeah.
who is a very handsome dude.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, the man is cut, but like you're in a sea of chiseled jaws.
We said during multiple points that everyone in World War II was hot. Like
ludicrously
Apparently,
handsome.
yeah.
Random dude whose job it is to shovel out the latrines.
Yeah.
Gucci model.
Ha.
You know,
Hey,
dude who
hey,
replaces the tank treads.
They enlisted everyone,
Adonis.
even Gucci models.
Yeah.
They would recruit anyone.
I guess that's the draft for you.
Yeah.
I guess so.
What's
Likewise,
next?
the damsel in distress, girl fight, none. The
Closest was Peggy being mad that blonde girl smooched him, and like
Yeah.
that's not even close.
and even then,
It
that
was her being like, "Bitch, don't you have things to do?" And that was even directed at Cap,
yeah,
not
yeah.
at the other woman. Like,
You also again have Peggy punching out Hodge,
Whatever.
at the beginning
Another,
when she shows
another
up.
chiseled jaw.
Yep, another chiseled jaw to be shattered.
Even the ugly, weird-looking dude is also handsome in this movie.
Yep.
losing an arm.
Yeah, losing an arm is the next one. No.
No.
Red Skull lost his fucking face.
Red
Well,
Skull-
his arm did go first.
His hand started to dissolve, I suppose.
You're not wrong.
Inwards.
There's an argument.
Quarter
I
check?
guess.
Quarter check mark? Is that a
What is
thing?
that? Is it like a comma?
How many
Like an orange
seconds do you
comma?
actually have to lose
just
your
a
arm
till.
for?
It's just a little tilde.
Not a
Holy
tilde,
shit, there's
it's
a lot
a
of wind
till.
out. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's getting
Yeah,
real.
now
windy.
it's windy.
So that's the villain is a copy.
Yeah.
This one's at least
Yeah.
half, if not a
Yes.
full check.
I think this is a full check
Yeah,
mark.
I
They
think
were
this
both.
is pretty because it was very the same serum. We
Yeah.
are God.
It was the
blah, blah,
evil
blah.
version of Cap, basically.
I
More
understand
or
now.
less,
Yes,
yeah.
I totally agree.
Villain-
you got
is the
Ironmonger
hero,
is basically
basically.
just evil Iron Man. You've got Abomination's evil Hulk.
yeah.
You've got Whiplash is an evil Iron Man again.
I mean, it's stated in the movie they are very explicitly have both been treated with the same
Yeah.
serum from the same.
It was like,
Just one wasn't
one's an
quite
earlier
finished, and
version.
then-
We
yeah.
didn't
It
quite
actually-
finish it.
It was
100%.
100%.
Hulk, Gray Hulk, or whatever. Aren't they
Abomination?
same- Abomination.
yeah. It actually
Bone
helps.
Hulk.
It actually helps set up the main fundamental difference between Cap and Red Skull, where Red Skull is obsessed with we are gods. We
Yes.
are more than human, and we can rule this entire planet. He's just like, I'm just a fucking Dodgers fan.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm a dude.
And
Doing
I like
him,
dude
Brooklyn.
things.
that humility out of Cap infuriates Red Skull.
Yeah. Because it to him it diminishes what he believes he is, which is a god.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're both they're the same.
Yeah.
Same
So, but yeah,
same damn
it's-
person.
Check.
You ask when they want ice cream cone, they both say yes.
Both say yes.
The blue laser in the
Deep cut
sky.
right there. Deep
There's a
I'd
bunch
say
of
the one when the Tesseract
a bunch of blue
dissolves.
blue lasers all over.
Yeah.
the
I mean,
place.
there are blue
There's also
lasers all over
when
the
everybody
place.
shoots
There
with
were
all their guns,
but
they're
the
all
big
blue
one,
lasers.
fucking
and-
plethora of blue lasers.
Yes, this
everything
was
was
blue
a blue
lasers, the
laser by the
movie.
end of the movie.
Yeah.
But blue laser
Very
into the
true.
sky right at the end. Tesseract does its thing, and there's literally a hole into space expanding into the plane.
Yep.
JS.
that
like-
is blue lasered there, yeah.
pretty blue laser.
This
Now the
movie,
blue laser
I
isn't
would
the
say,
threat.
I would say this movie is more about blue lasers than anything else.
It's true.
Yeah, basically,
It's the
yeah.
most
Cap wears a
use of
blue
them.
blazer.
Which is
Get
only
out, man.
one
Actually,
B
though.
away
Get out.
from being a blue
when he
laser.
ties his shoes, he's a blue lacer.
Oh wow! So there you go. There you have it. Hot takes.
6 checks for that one.
Yeah. Bad guy lives. What? It's very ambiguous.
Have you?
It's very ambiguous. It's done in a pretty ambiguous way where you're looking at Red Skull and you're watching what
He-
little skin he
yeah.
has left
There is-
flaying off his
Yeah,
body.
There's both him disintegrating
Yeah.
and then a laser that's like, look over here.
Yeah, which at this point we have
Yeah.
now seen explicitly be used. We've seen a lot of blue lasers specifically be used for energy transfer at
Yes.
this point.
But no, he's both being destroyed and sent at the same time, sort of. So.
And there's even a middle ground of yes, he's being zapped away while the particles of his body are being shot into space.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And
so who fucking knows?
Yeah.
He's being fucked up somehow.
So we're gonna put this one as ambiguous because that's
Yeah.
how the movie presents it.
Yes.
Certainly, in the context of the movie, it is ambiguous
Yeah.
what happens to the bad guy.
It's certainly not as clear
Deal.
as you watch him fall over dead, and it's not as obvious as I'll see you next time, Captain America.
Yeah.
His last words were, "I'm dead."
I'll get you, Moose and Squirrel.
I'm
Oh
dead.
man, we our last real checkmarky one is going to be the one we got to talk about for a minute. The sequel hook.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
This is a double check mark sequel because not only
This is
This
the
Not only-
sequel
stinger,
hook
man.
that you hook your sequel hooks on.
right, not only do they have a stinger where it's Cap doing the punching bag and Nick Fury comes in and he's like, I want to give you a mission. And he's like, to get me back in the world, to save it.
gonna-
They could have cut to black, and that would have been fine.
I want to give you a steaming hot mission.
Instead, they put the literal actual trailer for The Avengers
No,
into the movie, like a good minute and a half.
I think it
of
would have made more
actual
sense would have
trailer.
been like cut to black and then like title card, date of the movie, just to be like, I want to give you a mission. It's gonna be the thing that happens in this
Maybe.
movie,
I mean,
Avengers. Like the whole trailer feels really
literally-
excessive.
can someone clarify for me? Were there stingers in the previous Marvel movies?
Yes.
Yes, all of them.
All of
They're
them have
regular
stingers.
stingers. So this wasn't like the first stinger.
Nope.
No.
And they didn't know what they were going to do with the stingers yet.
No,
Nope,
this
they
was
already
like
done them
the
correctly.
6th or whatever.
And they had both gone. I think they had gone both ways on stingers. They had both directly, like, referenced future movies as well as just done some dumb random shit.
Yep.
Like,
yeah,
they've
like
done
Hulk
stickers.
was like,
Iron Man.
both
oh,
significant.
we don't want Hulk in the Avengers or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
weird, whatever.
Well,
both
like,
significant
Iron
and
Man-
insignificant.
Iron Man has Nick Fury inviting Tony to be a part of the Avenger Initiative.
Yeah.
The Hulk has Tony showing up to talk to General Ross about the Avenger Initiative.
Because it's to irritate General Ross, basically.
Yeah. I think Thor ends with Dr. Selvig being brought into the basement where Nick Fury shows him the Tesseract,
Yeah.
and Loki's in the background like, ooh, this will be fun, or whatever.
They're like, ooh,
that.
that's a shiny.
I want that.
I don't remember what Iron Man 2's stinger is off the top of my head.
Whatever.
But it was there.
So
point-
yeah, this one they just jammed a fucking trailer as a stinger. They didn't even try. They're like,
it's
here's
a
a trailer.
full-on sting. It's a full-on trailer with Marvel's The Avengers, and then another little like trailer ending shot, and then it says May 2012, and it's like, you really didn't want to wait even a second.
That's
to put
the
this in.
funniest
It was
fucking
just a
thing.
trailer.
They didn't even cut out any of the text. Like, there's
Yeah.
like bump text that is like coming soon, and
Yep,
it's
and on
like
the bottom it's like copyright 2011, 2012, Marvel Studios,
Cut that
with
That's what I'm saying.
involvement
Like
from Universal
it
and
would have
Paramount.
made sense to me if they'd done the like
Edit the
mission,
trailer.
cut to black. Hey, Avengers coming out May 2012. Just like move on. But
Yeah.
they just did.
No,
they didn't
they-
put any effort in.
They
Well, it's
just
clear
put a
that
trailer.
the editing for the Avengers was still very early because they were doing like they were doing shots that were mostly like was it exposition shots? No. What's the name of those when you're
Random
Exponential
action
shots.
shots.
No. When you show it like, here's like flying over the city.
expositive.
establishing shots.
Establishing
Oh,
shots. Thank you. Like it's an
establishing.
E word, but they did a bunch of establishing
Tonka,
shots
you're
with characters in
fucking
them, and that was
adorable.
mostly it.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, so this was like, they did their first week of filming. That wasn't anything intense.
Black
They were
Widow,
like, just
she'll
stuff
be
it all
here.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, she kicks something.
Look at her butt.
I've never seen a movie do
I
that.
looked
I've
at
never
her butt.
once seen a movie legitimately
Me
put
too.
a trailer into the movie.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
That's so
I don't want to
weird
think
me.
about it anymore because it's fucking. Not only is this weird, it's fucking lazy. It's boring. Like
It was super lazy.
Shut
It's
up.
kind of stunning in hindsight because this is like
It kinda-
next is up is the
Right.
most ambitious crossover in film history.
Yeah, it was like, who cares about Captain America, guys? Because the fucking Avengers are coming.
Yeah.
And it's
Forget about this movie you just watched. Here come the Avengers.
What about having 6 times as many cool heroes?
in a movie that
So-
already like slipped on the uneven bars and face planted into
Yeah.
the mats underneath on the dismount. This like end of the movie was just like the person going to
Little
put their
extra
hands
kick.
up and slipping and falling again on the dismount.
Yeah,
like,
it
it
was
already felt
clumsy.
weird, and
Clumsy.
then that just made it super weird.
Just, lazy. I
Tripped
think,
while
is the
walking
real-
off the
Yeah.
mat too.
It felt
like-
very, very lazy.
yeah, lazy with some copy pasta work.
Lazy for a fucking stinger. Like, you don't even have to put that much work into it,
Right,
guys.
it's like a 5-minute, if that. Yeah.
All right, we got our last bit of categorization, which is the cursing, which I only caught one.
I wasn't
and
paying
even
attention.
still, nowadays, who cares? But when they're on the the catwalk walkway scene as everything's on fire and they're getting pulled back, Cap looks down and is like, hell. I'm like, oh, okay.
Might have just been like an ad description.
Just said
Hell.
the word hell.
Looks like hell.
Yep.
Nope, 0 check marks. That's not a proper curse.
Yep. As compared to like Iron Man 2, which really like to drop the word shit a lot, actually.
Shit butts.
It's actually my favorite thing about this category is up until now
Shit
there's not a
butts.
lot of it, but
Shit
somehow
Didn't lift your
after
ass in the shit butts.
somehow
Happy
after
Ben.
Disney acquired Marvel, the cursing goes up exponentially over time to the point where like we'll get there, but like between the dipshit and you shitting me and all that stuff, like there's a lot
Yes.
more of it over time.
It gets a lot more common.
So what this
come
brings
be
us to is our
beautiful.
ranking of stuff. Goji cannot ever stay away from the
Goji
the
is
tripods.
taunting us by
Darling.
thinking about knocking everything over.
No, she wants to nuzzle it. To
Yeah,
make
she's
sure
gonna
it
nuzzle
smells
on it. So
like
if the
her.
camera jiggles,
That's
you'll know
Goji.
why.
That's her right there.
So all right,
Goji Matography.
rankings. We at the end of these we always do our rankings.
Geez,
of
what do
movies.
we have?
So far, the ranking for the three of us has gone. Are you all right?
I'm gonna chomp on your hand.
Nope.
Oh, I thought
The
you were
ranking.
going,
The
never
rankings
mind.
for the movies we've done so far are all three. The three of us have been in concert with this so far. It is Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Thor, and the Incredible Hulk in that order. So Iron Man up top,
Oh.
followed by Iron Man 2, Thor, and the Incredible Hulk. So
Ooh.
where,
Ooh.
for starters, Jeff, do you have any kind of a loose order for those four? Obviously, you haven't probably watched them as recently. I guess it's been a year for the three of us anyway, but still.
So I can definitely agree with Iron Man 2 on top. Like Iron Man also, like, full, disclosure of Iron Man is like one of my favorite superheroes, period.
It's a
So,
really,
like,
it's probably the perfect
The
90s,
movie or
early
the
2000s
character?
style.
the character.
Okay.
Yeah.
Iron Man as a superhero
Oh,
in
gotcha,
general,
gotcha.
I love.
Yeah.
But like
Hulk-
also those movies are great. So
Hulk-
Iron Man 2 is fine.
This is Ed Norton Hulk that's on the list right
Yes,
Ed
now.
Norton,
Ed
Hulk,
Norton.
yes.
Yep.
And I
And-
still love the whole Ed Norton evolves into Mark Ruffalo thing. Like, it's just beautiful.
original
It's
Thor
like Pokemon. He evolves into Mark Ruffalo.
Exactly.
and Incredible Hulk with what's his face?
Ed Norton.
Ed Norton.
Ed Norton.
So that order I think fits for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I don't think I would. I mean, both Thor and the first Thor and the Hulk
They're both
movie,
really
I
bad.
was like meh on both of them. So yeah, I can agree with that order.
Okay.
So
Ben, where do you think Captain America ends up?
So I'm
Kind of walk through them. Give me a comparison. Captain America versus the Incredible Hulk.
no. I think I know where it's. I'm
Okay,
trying to
alright.
remember Thor.
I know it's
All
hard,
the
isn't
angles.
It is hard. So
Thor 1 is the one where he meets the random woman in Arizona, right?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
she's like,
I mean,
So
that's
here-
Thor 2 as
Dr.
well,
Foster.
technically.
I
Yeah.
think.
Oh.
I was in London.
Think. Iron Man 1
it? Yep.
greater than Iron Man 2
Yeah.
greater than Captain America,
Okay.
which is slightly greater than Thor, greater than Hulk.
Okay.
Thor 1 and Captain America, I think, are pretty close, but I think Captain America is a more competent movie.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna jump in and say that yeah, I kind of agree with that. Iron
And
Man
the more
2,
I
Cap,
think
and
about it, I
Thor.
think that the more I think there's more of a distance between Captain America and Thor.
Yeah.
I just don't remember. I'm sure, like, I think I'm basing it too much on when I first saw Thor. I was like,
Yeah.
that's cool, man. It's Thor.
yeah.
And then we
But
rewatched
the
it. You
movie
kind
it was just kinda like-
flashback to the rewatch, man.
And then I was like, I can't remember anything.
Yeah.
So it couldn't have been that good.
Whereas-
it's pretty boring.
the
Yeah.
rewatch, we were
But
pretty
Captain
harsh
America
on it.
was like pretty solid, but not great. I think when
Yeah.
we were sitting
Yeah.
there watching it,
We were
towards the
kinda-
end, I was saying that Captain America is like a solid 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's good
Right
at what
in
it
the
does.
middle.
It's fine. It's not offensive, but it's also not like super exciting. It's
Yeah.
just like it's a
Yep.
it's a solid movie.
Yep.
You
That's
know?
it.
Doesn't hurt my feelings,
I think.
but it also doesn't give me a half chub or anything. So
I think I'd agree with that because Iron Man 1 clearly that's still the best out of the 5 we've done.
what's
Uh,
after this one?
The Avengers.
Yeah.
Okay,
The Incredible Hulk, clearly the bottom of clearly the bottom of
Gets
5.
serious.
Yeah.
And then you get Iron Man 2, Thor, and Captain America. And I would say that Iron Man 2 is probably still it's not a particularly
Maybe
great
Iron Man
movie.
2 and Captain America.
That's the thing. Iron Man 2, Cap, and Thor, I think, are a pretty good descending set of 3 that are relatively close.
They're pretty
together.
close. They're
They
pretty
all
close,
are.
yeah.
They're all
I'd
competent
have
movies.
to say I agree with that order, to be honest.
Yeah, they're all
Same.
competent movies.
I think Iron Man 2 is better than the rest of you do, but
Iron
Yeah,
Man is
not
still
so
better.
much that it moves a place in the standings.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
It's not that. So here's the thing: we all decided it's not that Iron Man 2 is bad at all.
It's just that it's a
just
retread.
literally the
Retread.
exact same movie as Iron Man 1, and they made it like a year or 2 later or whatever.
Yep,
2
give
years
it to
after.
me, inject it directly into my veins.
Very.
So it was just like it was like this isn't bad.
I love
but
it.
You just made the same
I can feel
movie
the bias from being
Like,
too close to you.
yeah.
It's just like it's not bad,
will
but
begin
like
to feel
it's
the warmth
not
and a slight
anything
vibration.
special
Yep,
either
yep,
because it's just this movie again.
Okay, I can agree with that. I
Like
can
it gets
understand that.
points are removed for being the same movie.
I
a
see where
second
you're coming
time.
from.
That's
Yeah.
all.
So it seems
I
like we're
recognize
all
your incorrect opinion.
Still-
It seems like we're all still in lock. So we have Iron Man, then Iron Man 2, then
Correct.
Captain America, the First Avenger,
I
then
think-
Thor 1, and then the Incredible Hulk.
I think,
Yes.
I'm starting to. I think
gonna
there's an
vary more
argument
as
for
time
Captain
goes.
America better than Iron Man 2.
I would agree.
I think there's
But that's the only wiggle room to me, and I still would say Iron Man 2 is a
Yeah.
better
I would-
movie.
Iron Man 2, I can remember the plot beats with pretty decent clarity.
Yeah.
Whereas with Captain America, it's unfortunately, and part of this comes down to, I think, the style, the war documentary style, is kind of dull for a lot of it. It's not necessarily bad. That first hour, the dullness works because you're learning shit about these characters and you're learning the plot of what's happening. But it doesn't leave you with a strong impact
I also
by the
care
end of
more
it.
about all the Tony and Pepper and.
I was just gonna say
characters.
I'm gonna credit the power of Iron Man 2 to Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
He's much more charismatic
Robert Downey
than
Jr., Don Cheadle, like what's not to love
There's a
about
lot more
that
charisma
movie?
in that movie.
Yeah.
Even if the plot was a little bit weak, the actor's charisma was.
Yeah.
And it was like a little more lighthearted, a little more fun.
Like I feel like I'm keep
So-
being very mean to Terrence Howard, but like Don Cheadle just does such a better
don't be
job.
because Terrence Howard is fucking
He's a
insane.
messed up dude.
Okay, fair.
So Captain
Did you
America
know that
1,
1
Steve
times
Rogers.
1 equals 2?
Oh yeah, we talked about teriology.
Oh,
Remember
that's
that?
I remember now. It's been like 2
been about a
years
year.
since we watched that movie.
Oh boy, let's not
but
get into that.
Cap
We'll spend
1,
all day.
Steve Rogers for Cap 1 is kind of a blank slate.
Yeah.
You have it's sure.
And like the
and
interactions
Everyman
between him and Bucky were just super flat, and like a lot of that was like
Nothing yet.
I distinctly remember, and we'll have to come back to this conversation later, because I distinctly remember when Captain America Winter Soldier came out, I was like, my thought when I saw the trailer and I was going to the theater is like, I'm seeing this because it's MCU. Who gives a shit about Captain America?
Yeah.
And then I walked out of that theater 3 hours later being
I
like,
give a shit about Captain America. I like him.
so yeah. So
Suddenly I do.
I think honestly, Avengers also does an excellent job of developing
they set
those
some stuff
characters
up.
more.
Yeah, they give him a good like starting base for where he goes with Winter Soldier.
You like
and
have
from
more,
then on.
like you get more feelings for him. He
Oh,
has
yeah.
like more nuance and stuff. He's not just running around being dumb.
Yep. So, in addition, we also have our villain ranking, which so far, again, we've all been in one place with this. We have Loki from Thor.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about Loki from the Avengers later.
Okay.
Yeah, Loki from Thor is on top, followed by Obadiah Stane, followed
Iron
by
Man.
Justin Hammer from Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
We got Ivan Vanko from Iron Man 2. And then we got Emil Blonsky from The Incredible Hulk, the Abomination on the bottom.
Oh yeah, fuck Emil Blonsky.
So I feel like this is probably going to be the first part where we start to go different ways, because Red Skull, I don't know. Red Skull could go a lot of different directions. That one's a
I
little
don't know,
tough.
like, is Red Skull really the villain? It's like Nazis are the villain.
I mean, yeah, but
Okay,
Captain America didn't beat the Nazis. He
But
beat
Red
Red
Skull's
Skull.
literally a super Nazi.
Yeah, he's,
Sure, I'm
he's
just
so
saying,
Nazi.
like,
He left the
I was
Nazis
like,
behind.
Nazi for
Nazis.
I just like argue like
hardcore.
you technically have like Nazism and Hitler as like one enemy as well as Red Skull. Like
yeah,
there's
but
you know
the Nazis are literally never fought in this movie.
Yep.
At no point do you fight the
notice
Nazis.
you never actually see a swastika.
You do only once, and
on
it's
one
in
of
the,
those guys with
it's
Red
in the-
Skull zaps.
Nope, it's the flashback when Dr. Erskine is talking about injecting Johann Schmidt with the broken serum,
there
and you
is-
see him being mad, and he's got a little swastika that's not even fully in frame on his
Wow.
armband.
I thought it was
Alright.
0.
that's it.
Okay, yeah. So one almost
Yeah.
swastika.
I was just like, technically they are, bad guys because
Okay.
World
They
War
are.
II.
Yes,
and
So-
stuff.
but Hydra and the Red Skull
Yes.
is definitely. I think Hydra as a whole will definitely have to be addressed as a villain, because here Hydra's like whatever, they're just replacement Nazis.
God, that Hail Hydra thing.
Yeah,
I still,
Oh my God.
I still think Obadiah Stane and Justin Hammer are cooler than Red Skull.
I think
but
they're more
might,
nuanced for sure.
I might settle Red Skull in underneath those two.
above Ivan Vanko and Emil Blonsky.
Which one was Vanko
So,
again?
yeah.
Remind
Vanko
me.
was
You've
Whiplash.
got
He was the big guy
Loki,
from Iron Man 2.
Stane, Hammer,
Hammer was
Red
the one
Skull,
who manipulated Vanko.
Vanko, Blonsky.
Well,
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
So the Loki, honestly, the Loki positioning kind of is affected by my future additional knowledge of
Loki's
more
a
Loki
badass.
stuff.
But we're gonna talk Loki later, so this is strictly Loki as he appeared in Thor.
He's still in
Okay.
Thor better than any other
He's still
villain.
being a
Yeah,
badass.
he's still
in
pretty
Thor.
cool.
He's the most nuanced villain of that we've seen so far for sure. Like at least
I feel
Obadiah
like
Stane
Red Skull
has some things
isn't.
going on, but
I mean,
yeah.
Red Skull would place higher if he didn't self-own at the end of the fucking
Yeah.
movie.
Here's
own goal to lose
Red
that
Skull's
movie.
So
honestly
here we-
kind of boring,
here
crazy
we're-
guy, in my opinion.
We're gonna divert a little bit here.
Okay, all right.
First of all, your previous list is flawed because in the number one spot is of course
You agreed to this.
Evil Ben.
Oh, yes, obviously.
He is a
That's
Marvel
why
villain.
Ben's written right here.
As soon, I mean, technically, as soon as you know the D-pad is absorbed by like Maker Studios or something.
When Disney buys us out,
yeah,
Oh,
it'll
God.
happen.
billions.
It'll
Please
happen.
buy us out,
Evil Ben will
Disney.
canonically be
a
part,
Disney princess.
We're
Disney
just saying.
princess, yes.
I'll finally be a Disney
I'm
princess.
saying I'm
Sweet,
gonna
sweet
say
kisses.
Loki,
Yeah,
Red Skull,
above Obadiah Stane.
Stain,
Okay.
Vanko, Hammer,
Hmm.
Blonsky.
You like Ivan Vanko better than Justin Hammer?
I do. Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Because Hammer's just a fucking goon.
Yeah, but he's a fun ass goon.
Yeah, but that doesn't really like. All right, Loki is definitely the best. I don't foresee that changing.
Not for
a while.
not for another movie, and then it's probably just gonna be another Loki.
Stain is like he's veiled. He's a veiled one-dimensional villain. Like he
is
tries to make
one-dimensional.
you think that he's multidimensional when he's not. He's a boring, greedy money guy.
Yeah, sure.
And that I like Red Skull a little bit more than him because he's kind of the antithesis to Captain America, and
Yeah.
I'm also using a little bit of like where he ends up and stuff later, and like from the other comics and stuff like that too, and not just from this movie, which is kind of cheating. I get it.
Yeah.
But
it's
like
hard to separate.
like
them.
his origins are a little more interesting than Obadiah.
Yeah.
Hammer he's not even a villain. He's just comic relief. He's a tool
side
used
villain.
by
He's an
Vanko.
antagonist.
Yeah.
Venko's not good. He's not a great villain, but I think he has at least a backstory. It was
I mean, we could retire Hammer from the list if he's not a high qualified enough to be a villain.
he's just like a dumb Tony Stark. Like, he's not even. He gets used by Vanko. He doesn't.
Should we? All right, we
he's
have
just kind
four
of
of us here. Let's get quorum on this. Should we retire Justin Hammer from the villain ranking?
I mean, he's kind of the one that brings Vanko over and like
He does
gives him all
bad
the
shit,
money.
but I don't think he's a villain.
He just wants to beat Tony Stark. He
Right.
wants to be the best
He's
CEO.
He's a
nitwit.
like a nemesis to Tony Stark, but
nemesis
I
is
don't think that
rival, arch-rival.
Yeah,
Yeah,
rival,
rival's a good
rival,
one.
and I don't think that makes him villainous.
I think
I
when
would kind of agree. It's like honestly, I feel like Hammer and Vanko should be a single villain. They should be counted as one.
But they're
Kind
not.
of.
You can't consider two different characters with
They're
their
a
different
force. They're not-
motivations
they're
and
like
stuff.
the whole, but
They're not in
together they are the
agreement.
driving force of the villain.
they're not in agreement. They're not on the
They're
same
not.
team. They're
Vanko
not like
kind of takes over the
Yeah.
whole thing.
It's not
and
like
Hammer's
Batman
like,
and
whoa,
Robin.
that's not what I
Ultimately,
agreed to.
Hammer is the supplier at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
Yeah, and Hammer's also kind of at the end of it being like, that wasn't what I wanted, any of that. You
Yeah.
kind of just started
Well, let's
attacking
make this
the city.
Let's make this easy then. All right, we'll put hands up. I'm gonna count
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3, and then
thumbs
give it a
down
thumbs
to
up or thumbs down
cut
for
For which?
Thumbs up is we're keeping him. Thumbs down is we're cutting him.
Okay.
I
the
don't
villain
know
list.
what my opinion
I
is.
can't
So-
wait to go
I
2 and
don't
2
have
here.
one.
3, 2, 1.
I don't know, man.
Okay,
All right,
so you put
fine.
2. That's cheating. Yours doesn't count.
Who's this over here?
Yeah, right. Goji.
Tonka.
He works great as a
the
what do we say,
frame is.
a rival to Tony, and
Yeah.
like through his rivalry with Tony, he gets used by Vanko, and he's not a good guy. He's selfish
I love
and
Justin
whatnot.
Hammer.
I just don't
Here's
think he's
the
really
thing,
a
though.
villain.
As we move forward through the Marvel Cinematic Universe, some of these low tier chuds
I
are
get
going to
you.
be
Yeah.
replaced by really badass villains.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
In time-
Eventually, the bottom is just gonna mush
we're
together
just
to
gonna
like
top-
shitty ones
we're
we
gonna
don't care about
top
anymore.
load all
Yeah.
these dope ass villains and then leave those nerds at the bottom.
Yeah.
So like I don't mind cutting.
By
them.
the end of this, like everything below
One
for
villain
Thor
per
1
movie.
Loki is not gonna matter at all.
Yeah.
So
Because that's the best part of this list. Once we get into the later Phase 2 and especially Phase 3, the
villains
villains in
get
Phase 3
better.
are so
Way
well
better.
written.
yes.
Like we've still got like Killmonger and the Vulture and Thanos to
love
talk
Yes.
about. Like
there's so many good ones.
really good, and Helmut Zemo and Bucky. Like there's a lot of good stuff to talk about there.
There's a lot to be done
Stay with me.
yet in the universe.
But yeah, so that's my
All right.
that's my argument.
So
for
you're saying Loki, You're saying
Loki, Red Skull, Stained Venko, Blomsky. I don't even know his fucking name. That's how.
Well,
I
so a
use
Neil
Blonsky is when you're sitting on the toilet.
Blumpkin.
Well, I think
Neil
that's a
Blumpkin.
Blopsky.
A Blopsky.
I dropped a big Blopsky.
Oh, God.
Plop.
So, I
A
mean,
Plopsky,
as
yeah.
far as me, Loki's still on top.
Yeah.
Blonsky's still on the bottom.
Yeah.
Uh,
Those are the easy ones,
yes.
right?
yeah.
Blonsky's just boring. He's just like, no, I'm gonna be super soldier stuff.
I want to
Yeah.
be strong too, but I'm bad.
I think I'm going to go Stain, Red Skull, Vanko, and it's only because Red Skull has slightly more nuance than Vanko, because you do have his drive really clearly as like, I want to be a god, to the point where anyone suggesting that I'm not a god just
Deep insult.
If it's just the movies, I get that. I think
Yeah.
I'm pulling more from like what I know about Red Skull, which isn't
in
much
the
more.
comics, Red
but-
Skull is incredible. Red Skull is
Yeah.
way up there
A lot
in terms of
deeper.
like villain
Yeah.
quality in the comics. Like not on.
So
not
am
in
I-
the same-
I'd honestly would put Red Skull under Vanko just because in the movie he really doesn't have a lot going on.
That is
Yeah.
true.
He
That's
does
true.
kind of suck in Captain America: The First
In
Avenger.
the,
there's
in the
a big
first, you
split
like
now,
don't
I
see
think.
a ton of
Yeah.
him. He's just kind of like around and being very
And-
crazy.
and really, I think the problem is a lot of these villains are not strong yet. We don't
They're
have a lot
not,
of strong. They're just
For me, Loki is a legitimately well-written character in
Loki's
Thor.
really the only great one.
Yeah.
And
Stain
then
is
the next three are like
interesting.
they're good
Stain,
for
Vanko, and Red Skull feel about the same.
Yeah, they're
Right,
2000
it's really
level.
mostly just
Yeah.
I put Red
Villains.
Skull last because I feel like he's just
They're
gone crazy.
White guy dickheads.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
a bunch of.
Like-
What was the order that you went for yours?
Basically it's
Rich
Loki,
white
Stain,
dickheads.
Vanko, Red Skull because I
So
feel
you're
like
down
Red
here with Red
Skull.
Skull.
Yeah.
Red Skull's
I
basically
understand
just
it.
a nut bar at this point.
Yeah.
Like he went crazy when the serum didn't work and melted his face off. He thinks he's a god.
I mean,
Like
I would probably
he's
go pretty crazy too. I think.
effective.
Yeah,
It's either
But-
get like super depressed about how you look and be like, "Nah, I'm a god," not like a goofy
No,
looking.
I'm just saying, like,
I've
you
shed
know,
my human form.
he's still very
Horrible.
smart. He can still get a lot of shit done, but like he's gone a little bit crazy and insane.
Yeah.
Face
So-
looked okay.
His nuance kind of gets dropped because I'm
His
like,
mask
you're
was
just now
really
you're
good.
just a nutty.
Yeah.
You're just a nutty guy doing crazy nutty things.
Oh, you're nutty.
All right.
I'm still just, I can't get over the cell
So
phone.
closing thoughts, I guess, about Captain America: The First
My
Avenger.
thought is a punch you.
I got one thing to say, and I think it sums it up pretty well. Captain America: First Avenger, 5 out of 10.
Consistent.
Yeah, it's just a
Consistent.
very.
Yeah,
I don't want
it's
to say
fine.
basic movie, but it does feel like it is the
fine.
white bread of these movies, where it's just kind of like
Keep
it doesn't do
coming back to
anything.
that.
It doesn't do much wrong, really. It just doesn't do, and it doesn't really wow
Doesn't
me.
do much.
So this is an interesting, like, I do have a final point. It's a bit
Yeah.
of a more, like, outside of the movie thought.
Sure,
But,
yeah.
like, as we have gone through the MCU for literally more than 10 years now, and,
Yep.
like, everything has been evolving and changing over time, it's really interesting to look back on what was a pretty goddamn good movie at the time and to
Yeah.
pick it apart and be like,
Right?
ooh, they didn't put references that would be reflected 7 movies later.
Oh, for sure.
And this character is very different. Like, it's pretty impressive, the level of quality that they've raised over the course of
yes.
most
Yeah,
of the MCU.
Because like, if you
like,
look
there's a
back,
couple
Right,
holes
the
and-
bad movies. That's the fun part with
Yeah.
this. You're like, well, these are the bad movies,
You
by which we
compared-
mean like they're
still pretty
the other
slick.
ones are good.
Yeah,
if you if you look back, it's kind of amazing because like Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk were a huge gamble at the time.
Yeah.
They paid off because Iron Man was great and the Incredible Hulk was a movie
It
that
was a
made
movie.
some money.
Yeah, it was
Even
a
though
thing.
they expected it to go the other way because the Incredible Hulk was a known name.
Yeah.
Easily everybody knows
bigger
Hulk.
comic name.
Yeah, Iron Man fucking barely anybody knew if you weren't into comics.
Look at that. Poof.
But so Iron Man, real good movie, was enough to give
Iron Man was fucking
to give
solid.
Marvel. They're like, yes, we're gonna keep doing these. And the Avengers, at the time in 2012, the biggest cinematic event in terms of like how could this have even been put together in the
Yes.
first place?
Had never been done before.
Yeah. And obviously was a huge gamble and worked. Like it made them like $1.5 billion. Like it was one of the biggest movies ever.
Yep.
And it's kind of, I think I said this during the Deep Head and Chill, but it's like, thank God the Avengers was a good movie because like, while I hesitate to say that any of these 4 movies were like bad explicitly, but like Hulk, not good. Iron Man 2, retread, kind of weak. Thor, pretty weak. Captain America, fine.
Yeah.
That's 4 movies in a row out of a 5-movie franchise where it's like, are we going to pick this shit up or
Yeah.
are we just stuck here forever? And then the Avengers comes out and is like, oh, we can do some crazy shit. Okay.
Yeah.
And then after that, the quality just skyrockets,
It's-
except for Thor 2.
I feel like up until that point,
That
it's
was a
sort
miss,
of like,
but I mean,
oh,
you
it's
know, it's
doing
gonna happen.
They
superhero
tried.
movies.
Yeah,
We're
it's
kind of
gonna-
niche audience. Whatever,
Yeah.
it's fine. And then it was like, no, everybody's liking these. These are just good.
Yeah.
Let's
we
just
have
do
to get good
this.
writing on all of the movies.
Yeah. We can try
Oh.
different genres and
So
stuff.
that was
Yeah.
who wrote this?
Was that Joe? Joe Johnston was the
Johnston?
director, I
Cat,
think.
cat.
Did you say the
I don't know if it
screenwriter?
says writing.
I
on
meant
it.
I meant to pull that up earlier so I could call
gue-
it out.
I guess
But
not a
closing-
huge deal. I just know that Avengers was written by large in part by Joss Whedon, who I fucking love.
Yes.
And I think that helped a lot when you had a
All
really
right.
competent, a really good
written
writer.
by screenplay by Kristen Markus and Stephen McFeely.
So I mean, I don't know them. I'm sure.
So
they've
these
done
guys,
stuff,
so these guys,
it's not a big deal. I wasn't trying to make like a huge point. Just
they wrote the first event. They wrote all 3 Captain America films.
oh, okay. So they improved after this.
They
one.
also wrote
Oh, yeah.
Infinity War and Endgame,
wow, they
Oh,
really
wow.
improved.
All right.
All right.
and they wrote Thor: The Dark World.
Oh.
Yeah,
All right.
that's I wouldn't have
So
called
they
that.
wrote this, Thor 2, and like, okay, guys, we
Yeah.
have to fucking
I think we
In
have
fairness-
it
pull
now.
it together.
Yeah.
In fairness,
We've learned some lessons, and then they fucking
they almost exclusively,
Fifth
like
Gear.
the vast majority of their film credits come out of. They also did the Narnia movies. So like
those
their
are
whole
okay.
thing is like world building style cinematic events.
right.
So like they know how to do this stuff. I think
Yeah.
Thor was a swing and a miss. Like it's not like that's gonna be like a 2-hour goddamn
That's gonna
movie
be a
nights
slog.
episode. That's gonna be
It's
like
gonna be a slog.
okay,
Yeah.
let's really like get into this.
I might
but-
quit halfway through that one.
But yeah, Markus and McFeely
Whoa.
they planted the flag and then they came back to him like, okay, let's try something weird here.
Yeah.
And they
I like
got
the
it.
lighting. It's like kind of
Yeah, we got this like it's gonna be this weird doomy lighting. Sarah's dead.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
I
on the way out of
I
this?
think I'm pretty good to wrap it up.
Yeah.
all
No,
right.
I mean, my point was, damn, these things have gotten better, and this one
Yeah.
actually pretty good, better than I remembered.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
I remembered it being I was worried when we
I
watched
agree.
this. I was like, I'm gonna like fall asleep through this
It was
just
just
because
it was fine.
it was fine.
It's fine.
And
Okay.
I remember being like, I'm kind of tired of these superhero movies, and then Avengers came out.
Yeah,
But a
once we
rewatch
did
is
Avengers,
fine. It's fine.
now you're like excited. Like, what are they going to do with their next thing? Iron Man 3 is this like buddy comedy style
Yeah.
movie. You've got comedy Captain America 2, which is a political thriller. You've got Thor 2, which is a bad movie. You got Guardians of the Galaxy, a space western. Like you've got all the space western / space heist. Like really good shit going on. Once they start figuring out, oh, we don't just have to make a comic book movie. We can actually try genres and like go somewhere
And
with it.
speaking of, the next one is Avengers.
The next one is Marvel's The Avengers, which is the technical full name of it. It's not Marvel's Captain America: The First Avenger, but it is Marvel's The Avengers.
Yep.
That's weird.
I mean,
Oh, actually, no. I think that was a legal thing because they had to deal with The Avengers, the British TV show, which was a much larger entertainment presence.
Had to be Marvel's The Avengers.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the UK, they couldn't
Anyway.
even call it The Avengers at all. They had to call it Avengers Assemble.
I thought they were gonna just call them
I thought
the
was a
Friend
nipple
Squad.
you're going for.
The
Why don't we come back?
Special Friend Squad.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, guys. Leave your comments and your rankings and stuff below. We'd love to check that out.
Yeah,
I'm
tell us
curious
why
how
we're
people are
wrong.
thinking about all these, and we'll come back next time for Marvel's The Avengers. We'll be very energized. They're gonna have a lot of stuff to talk about for that one.
That'll be a good one.
That's gonna be pretty good. Joss Whedon, back when I liked what he was writing.
Oh, woof. Hot take.
Oof.